Okay, so we are recording. Tonight, one of the things that I do want to show you around is some of our free tools and resources inside the Professional Academy and the Online Itinerant. So before I go any further, if you wouldn't mind sharing with me, if you are a member of one of our academies, we've got the Professional Academy for any professional that works with a student who is deaf or hard of hearing, regardless of their age, regardless of their communication style, and regardless of their service delivery. So not exclusive to itinerant teachers, but working with any child with a hearing loss from birth through 21. Or the Friend Academy is our parent program. We also have a membership to the Toolbox, and we also have some other things that people participate in. But just kind of let me know who is here tonight so that I can make sure that I am guiding my tour the right way. So if you wouldn't mind just putting in the chat if you are a member or not a member already. All right, Lauren is not a member yet. I'm guessing some of you others who are here just not really easily able to put in the chat box. And I know sometimes if you're on your phone that makes it difficult as well. So Lauren, I'm thrilled that you're here. If there's any one question that I can answer for you before we wrap this up tonight, then I would be thrilled to answer it for you. And Kimberly is here and she is a member. And I love it when the members come because oftentimes people say, I don't even know what all is inside the membership that I have because there's so much and there's a lot of meat. So this is a great opportunity for us just to really be able to get more acquainted with what's inside of everything you have inside the Professional Academy. So tonight I'm going to focus on the free resources and then we'll also talk about the things that are inside our membership programs as well. So I will go ahead and share my screen here and I am going to take you to the website. So this is the site www.theonlineitinerant.com. And you will see right at the top here, there are some banners that you can see. Now, let me make sure that you can see me here. Okay. So there are some banners along the top of the screen that kind of highlight some of the things that the online itinerant features. And before we go too far, I'm just going to talk about some of these things. So first of all, let me get us to the beginning when you first log in, and you will see our training that is happening on Thursday. I'm really, really excited about this training. It is called Implementing AAC with Deaf Students. So these are the communication devices that are used frequently with students who are deaf or hard of hearing, especially our students who are severely language delayed and they have communication issues. So this training is going to highlight this particular device and how to know if it is the right choice for your student, because sometimes an AAC device is not the right choice. There are other ways to build language and communication. But this training that we have on Thursday is going to talk about a candidacy checklist so that you can identify which students are a good candidate for this. And then if they are, kind of how to support that and make it seamless, a really comfortable service for them. And if they are not a candidate, then where do we do next? Where do we go from there? So this is happening on Thursday. If you are a member of any of our academies, so the Professional Academy or the Friend Academy, it's included in your membership. And what's exciting about it this time is that you do get a free guest pass, basically. So excuse me, we want to make sure that the people, the key players on the IEP team can come together for this training. So if you have an SLP that can join with you, or a parent who's not in the Friend Academy who can join, anybody who can join and sit with you in this training, we want to offer you a free pass for that. So if you are a member, it's already included in your membership. And otherwise, you can purchase it to attend live, or you can get it on demand. And if you purchase it, then you also get that free pass. The free pass is for the live training. So if somebody wants to come, but they can't come live, then $5.99 for them to be able to get it on demand. So it's absolutely worth your while. So one of the things that we feature inside the online itinerant are all of these on-demand trainings that are available 24/7 from any device, and even from, we have an app on your phone. Tonight I've got my camera working, so I'll be able to show that to you. But I just want to highlight the credits that we offer. We do offer many credits from multiple states, and also from the online itinerant. So it's a great way to be able to get your professional development needs. And you'll notice all of these trainings are specific towards working with students who are deaf and hard of hearing. In general, it's not communication mode specific, although some of them are, especially when dealing with language development. But a lot of our things, such as collaboration and mainstreaming and IEP and legal considerations, social emotional support, self-advocacy and technology, a lot of these things doesn't matter the communication mode, and oftentimes it spans all the ages. So it's really going to be a great fit for you working with your students who are deaf or hard of hearing. This is where we're at today, the Tuesday tour. And I just want to highlight to you, we are going to talk about our goal banks. I will show you those because you don't have, right now, members have full access to what we've got. We do have a waiting list if you're not a member, for those to be able to sign up and get it soon, not yet. Our members have first access to it, and they're giving me great feedback about it. But the other thing that I want to show you is that the online itinerant does have an app, and I just want to show you what this app looks like here really quickly, because anybody can have the app. You don't have to be a member to get the app. So first of all, can you all see my phone? Can you all see my phone on here by chance? Just let me know if you can see this. And let me just get this. Great. Okay. So you'll notice right here is my online itinerant app. So all you have to do is search your store. So search your app store for the online itinerant. And when you do that, you will get access to the app. Now, there are some things in here that is exclusive and specific to those people who have the app, including some itinerant rockstar hacks. These are special hacks that are wonderful if you're an itinerant teacher. A lot of them are for when you're on the go, which is the challenge with itinerant teaching. But once you have the app, if you're a member of the online itinerant, you have everything available to you that's inside of your account to you on your phone. Can ignore that potential spam phone call right there. People love this app. And by the way, make sure you get notifications, because I will be moving away from texts and more towards notifications, which will you'll be able to tap and get you directly into the app for different resources that we have. So just make sure that you have the app. I can't recommend that highly enough. Let me come back to the website again here. Here we go. All right. We're going to talk about the toolbox. There are over $500 worth of Teachers Pay Teachers materials and other materials, all available to you inside the toolbox. You will love that. And then the other thing I want to talk about is the live community power hours and trainings each week. So any member of either the Friend Academy or the Professional Academy, we come together just to talk, brainstorm, ask questions. Got a tricky student, you need a resource, anything like that. We come together as the community. And the Professional Academy does it the second and the fourth Thursday of the month. And then the friends, parents come together the third Thursday of the month. The first Thursday is always our training. So I always say save the T days for the online itinerant, Tuesdays for your tour, and Thursdays for our community. So our training or our power hours. And then this is our professional academy. And then this is the other thing is the IEP goal banks that we have. I will highlight that for you tonight and you'll get to see it. All right, so now that you can see the website here, feel free to get on the website yourself as we're walking through all of this. What you'll notice is if you are already a member, I know we've got a couple members here tonight. If you're already a member, you will have this icon that shows you that you are logged in. But I'm going to log out tonight because I want to present as though I'm not a member of the Online Itinerants. And we are going to go here. Let me just refresh back to the website. And what you see here is this little button that says View Our Full Store. So I want you to click on that because the first thing that's going to pop up for you are some of the free tools and resources. And I am going to show you some of these tonight. First, I'll talk you through them, and then I'm going to show them to you. So this one, the first one that you see on here is our Holiday Self-Advocacy Bingo. This was just released. I'm curious if any of you already downloaded it and have been using it this week. This is something that I worked with the self-advocacy skills for my students prior to leaving for Thanksgiving, just kind of like talking about how do we navigate through these tricky situations that tend to happen during big gatherings. What do we do? And then after they came back, we did the bingo. And so any of the skills that they did, they were able to cross off on their sheet and we talked through them. And if they didn't do them, then we talked through them as well. Was there not a need for it, or was there a need and you missed the opportunity? Was something happened? So we talked through it. And then if they get a bingo, then they get a bingo. But there's two of them. There's one for Thanksgiving, and then there's one for the winter holidays. So for any winter gathering, they're the same skills. So it's a great way to reinforce and generalize these skills and make it kind of fun. So I will show you that in a minute. The next one is our audit proof IEP goal banks. I cannot tell you how excited about this people are. So the audit proof IEP goal banks, there is 3 of them right now with more coming in the spring. So these are the IEP goals and needs that are sometimes hard to measure and sometimes hard to quantify. So we're talking about self-identity, self-advocacy, and transition. Now, when I say transition, I mean all the skills that we need to transition from school age to adulthood. And it starts actually in middle school. So this includes your amplification maintenance, it includes your self-advocacy, it includes understanding your rights and responsibilities, it includes knowing who all your specialist teachers are and knowing about your IEP. That's transition. Self-advocacy are our early transition skills. You know what self-advocacy skills are. Those are basically just understanding your needs and knowing how to get them met. And then the self-identity is understanding kind of who you are and where do you fit in as a kiddo with hearing loss when oftentimes you're the only one. Oftentimes you're the only one. So inside each one of these goal banks, we have an assessment so you can identify what the needs are of your students, which leads exactly to IEP goals. And the IEP goals are literally copy paste. So you can take the assessment, you got it done. Here, this is exactly your IEP goals. Some schools want objectives. Not all schools. Some schools don't need objectives. But if you need objectives, then here are the objectives. You can copy and paste them verbatim, put your student's name in, adjust the frequency if you need to. And then the other thing is each skill that you're looking to be able to work with your student, there is an exact lesson plan and activity or multiple lesson plans and activities for each goal for each item. So this is really exciting. The feedback from it has been amazing. People absolutely love it. The next one is the impact of hearing loss handouts. So this is great for you to be able to have to hand out to parents, to hand out to teachers. And the front of it, we'll see it in a minute, but the front of it gives you the impact of the hearing loss on language, the impact on social emotional development, and then potential accommodations and services that line up nicely with this type of hearing loss. So we've got minimal, mild, moderate, severe, profound, and then we've got unilateral. Then on the back side of the paper, you can write specific things about your specific student. So again, this is great to share at IEP meetings. It's great to put in people's mailboxes as semester is coming. If you've got high school students and new teachers, fantastic way for them. You can even sit with your students, talk about it with them. It's really a nice handout to have. We have just a few more I'm going to talk about with you, and then we're going to dig in and I'll show you. And the next one is the observation tool for the mainstream environment. It's called the OTME. And these are all, when you go and observe, some people go, I don't really know what I'm looking for. I don't really know what to report on or how to know what to talk about. This lines everything that you want to see for your student. How are they engaging? How is the classroom accessibility meeting their needs? Are they part of the classroom community? Are they understanding the directions? Are they engaged in their learning? Where do they sit? What is the background noise around them? What's happening if they're falling apart? How is it going with their peers? So it's really a nice observation tool. And then it actually gives you a template for your reports. So you can just take the information. Here's your template. Here's your report. So here you go for your IEP meeting. There's a beautiful report on what you observed in the classroom. The 60-second plan to delivering Rockstar itinerant services is an ebook, and gives you kind of like the foundational building blocks to support you if you are an itinerant teacher. So this is kind of like your basics and kind of helps you get focused and some hacks for you to support you with the itinerant role, because truly I've done them all, and I think the itinerant role is the most challenging service delivery model for our students and for our staff who is trying to work with our students. Then the last one I want to highlight for you before we open it up and dig in is the Sign Your Ways to Fluency, 41 ways to become fluent in sign language. So this is great for family members, for people who are wanting to sign. These are just some secret ways to build your fluency. And by the way, the Online Itinerant does have a sister program called the Signing Room, which will support your sign language development and help you become fluent and immerses you in an all-you-can-sign environment and program. So really some great things. Okay, so I am going to dig in here and let me just check and see if I've missed any comments or chats. I have not. So let's go. I'm going to show you how we do our bingo. So you click on the bingo and what it wants to know. It is free. It wants to know what your email address is and what your name is. I am going to put in this email address. I actually have to remember it. Oh boy, I'm going to have to put in a different one. Ooh. I have so many email addresses. I'm sure you do too. Okay, so it wants to know our email, it wants to know your phone number, and it wants to know what your role is. And right here, send me emails with directions on how to access my goodies. You want to make sure that that's checked so that you can get any directions that you want. So you click on this, and then what happens is it's going to lead you to log into your account. But if you check your email, this is why I wanted to make sure I had the right email, you will have an email from me that has the resource. Okay. You also now you have it inside of your account, and it will also be available for you on your phone now if you have the app. But it is, and let me just download it. It should be easy peasy for you to download. And here you go. Here is your self-advocacy bingo with your directions, a couple different ways to do it. And here is the Thanksgiving one. And then we've got the same skills for Christmas. So let me just kind of talk you through some of these. Explain your hearing needs to a guest. Move to a quieter area with someone so you can chat easier. Most of these have a so you can attached to it. Greet people at the door when they come so you can chat with them one-on-one. Because many times our students, it's too much in the gathering. But if they greet them at the door, then they get that one-on-one time. Text the party hosts in advance and let them know your needs. Technology, communication, whatever. All right, so you can see these are great things to talk about before and then after the event. And so now that we're done with Thanksgiving, perfect timing, and now leading into the winter season and the winter holidays, we've got the same skills for that. Now, if you are an Academy member, this is in the toolbox for you. You now have it. There's been some information, some texts and emails that have led you directly here. Let me grab a quick sip of water here. All right. So that is resource number 1. Now, remember, it does guide you. It does want you to log in. So once you log in, you can click on Remember Me. And now I am a member of the Academy, so you'll see a number of things in here, but you will see your resource is now inside your account. Now, if you are not a member, that's okay. You will still have your resource available for you right in here. So when you click on it, then you will also be able to download it and have access to it. Okay. That is the first one. The audit-proof goal banks, it just puts you on a waiting list. It just puts you on a waiting list. But I know that people might want to see what this looks like. So let me just take a peek. Okay, and Kimberly is asking about resources for parents of Deaf Plus. So, Kimberly, I'm glad that you asked that because there are resources for parents of Deaf Plus. There are a couple great resources. First of all, we've got some trainings like what we've got tonight, or excuse me, this week on Thursday about the AAC devices. We have some great resources on building language. We have got a couple trainings for parents on working with their children. Now, it's a bit of a challenge because when you say Deaf Plus, that is a very large spectrum of students, right? Very large. We've got a couple trainings on Deaf Plus autism, and we've got a couple trainings on working with challenging behaviors. But the other thing that we have, which is so fantastic, and we have a lot of our parents with that we've got a lot of parents with children with deaf plus other additional disabilities that come to our power hours. And this is a really great resource for them. So Kimberly, you're saying this is a student charge pretty severe, starting to really use his AAC device. So yes, so the training that's coming up this week, our power hours and some of our additional trainings, I would definitely say get your parents in the Friend Academy. By the way, when you are a member of the Professional Academy, all of your parents get memberships to the Friend Academy for absolutely free. So now these 3 goal banks that we have are for any student, but the goal banks that we have coming out are going to be very language focused. So we're going to have some language goal banks, including building auditory language, building sign communication language, and then learning how to use an interpreter. So these language IEP goal banks will be also very, very helpful for those students as well. But we have some great resources and assessments and tools for those families. So I would say, Kimberly, make sure that you've got your families to come in and make sure that they come to the power hours because those can be very specific and specialized because you get to ask any question that you have and we get to dig in. So, so let me give you a quick peek at what the audit-proof goal banks look like, and just know that you will be on the waiting list if you are not yet a member, but if you are a member, then you get the actual goal banks, and this is what they look like. So we've got our self-advocacy, our transition, and our self-identity, and you can see when you click on this, then it gives you the skills checklist and the lessons. And then you get the goals, and then you have data collection forms so that you can follow up with it. So when you do the skills checklist and the lessons, you will see that you, first of all, download your own copy. So then you get to use it for your specific student. So then I always say name it so that you know that this is your student that you're looking at. And here is the assessment. So this gives you all the things that you want to make sure that they can do. And then if you're not sure if they could do them, you want to be able to do an activity with them to kind of assess it. Or if you need to teach it, then you've got the activity to teach it. And then you can click right on it and it will take you to that resource in the toolbox. So let me just fast forward a little bit because I always get to show these early beginning skills, but then I run out of time. So here we are with our beginning skills. So these are typically grades 2 through 5. Okay, 2 through 5. So can the student identify the cause of their hearing loss, the age and onset of their hearing loss, and the age of the identification? So because it's sometimes different. Sometimes it's not identified until later. So, and here, can they do that? And if not, here are some really fun, great lessons for this. These are all different people who have experienced this. So let me just kind of give you a little peek at what some of these are. So Sean Forbes is a famous deaf musician. So when we've got the people in here, then we've got like a little video of the person. And then we've got kind of a little lesson. This is great for comprehension, reading comprehension, listening comprehension. And then there's almost always an activity that a student can kind of compare and contrast. How are they similar to this person? So here's an example. So here was Sean. So he has a profound hearing loss. So then the student can kind of assess Sean only or both of them. Then through this lesson, you get to teach kind of the type of hearing loss, how to read an audiogram, what does it impact? So Sean became deaf from a high fever as a baby. So now we get to teach about causes of hearing loss. What are the different causes? Sometimes our students don't know. And you say, oh, well, go home and go ask moms or dads, see if they can share. Uses sign language to communicate. So maybe that's just Sean. Uses listening and spoken language to communicate. Sean uses both. Huh. So, the student can kind of go through each one of these. And then usually there's some kind of challenge that the student went through. So, or that the person went through. So it's an opportunity to kind of talk through this with your student. But then there's always something positive and a really exciting positive outcome. So you really kind of get to build that into your students, and then you get to talk about it with them. So this is an example of what that lesson looks like inside the checklist. Okay, so any case, you go through all of the things and then you can you do the checklist, do the number total possible. And then at the end of the section, you will score them out. So you see how many they've got. So maybe they've got 10 out of 18. So then you get the percentage. And then you can go to the audit proof IEP goals. And then they've got 10. We want them to get to 18. So then from here is your goal bank. And you can get your exact objectives. So here is our goal right here. Whoop, that's early beginning. We were in the beginning section. So here's our annual goal right here. So within the sessions, make this nice and big for you. Within the sessions with the DHH teacher, the student will advance from knowing 10 of the beginning level of self-advocacy skills to knowing how many do we want in a year? 18, 16, however many. But measured by, and then we've got the checklist for you. And now if you need specific objectives, then here are your objectives. Here's one big one, or you can even identify the little ones. And then if you're trying to figure out, okay, but now how do I teach the skill? Again, we've got all of the activities are built in right here for you. Okay, so that is the audit proof IEP Goal Bank. If you're a member, you've got it now. If you're not yet a member, you can sign up to the waiting list and you will be in line to get it once we release it. The next thing I want to talk about here is the impact of hearing loss handouts. So this is going to be, again, similar to how we had it. If you already have an account, we want you to keep that same account, keep that same email so that you have it all in one place. Some people get a little thrown here. They go, "Oh, it wants me to, it's making me enter the same email, but I want to enter a different email." That just means that you're already logged in. So again, we want to make sure that we know your role and what your phone number is so that we can communicate with you. And now this one, it is now going to be in your, again, here it is, inside of your account. So we click on it and here we can download this. I'm excited to show this to you tonight. Here is our impact of hearing loss right here. Let me minimize this for you. Now, for those of you who are in the Professional Academy, this is in your toolbox. Just search for the impact of hearing loss. It's under the handout section. It's in the handouts. So you can see this is what we call a slight or minimal hearing loss. And this is the impact of it. And then on the back, you can print these. On the back, you can write specific specific comments about your students. Here is a mild hearing loss, impact on language, their social and emotional impact, possible accommodations and services. We also have this for our moderate hearing loss, as well as our moderately severe hearing loss. Of course, the implications get more and more significant. And then we've got the severe to profound hearing loss. So it talks about, different things like significant language intervention is likely unless a child has had consistent therapy and full access to a language-rich environment through typically sign language since or before the age of 1. They would need academic instruction from a modified curriculum from an education specialist who's got expertise in working with deaf and hard of hearing students. And then also note-taking, visual supports, and a sign language interpreter for signing students. And captioning will be needed for accommodations. But then if it's different for your student, then you've got the extra information room on the back to be able to add information. Then we also have unilateral hearing loss as well. So this is a great handout for you to have. Again, it is available for you inside of the toolbox. So for those of you who are members of the Academy, if you're like, where is that in mine? You just want to go to should be in the handout section. Whoops. Actually, I want to show you, I'm pretty excited about this new handout that we've got in here. So this is the impact of unilateral hearing loss. This is a great kind of graphic, a nice graphic for you to show kind of, some people say, well, I don't understand unilateral hearing loss. Is it a big deal? And this kind of shows you. So when you've got 2 good ears, you've got speech and noise and your brain can filter it out. Whereas if you have only 1 ear, it all comes in the same ear and it all kind of can just go in as noise to the brain. So your brain doesn't have that ability to separate out the speech and the noise. So that is new inside the toolbox. All right, but I need to show you the next section, which is going to be our in-servicing materials. Here we go. Here is our impact of hearing loss. Okay. So let me just show you just one more thing for you inside of here. I will show you the 60-second plan, because this actually is a not in the toolbox or not. This is available for anybody. If you would like it, you just need to add your email and your phone number, and this will get emailed to you. And this is free to you, but it is not inside of your, I don't think. Oh, apparently it is. So we put that in here. Okay, so now if you download it, then it becomes inside of your account, but it's not inside of any of the academies. So you want to add it to be able to download it. So here we go, but I'll show this to you. We'll download it. And then I'm going to take a peek and see what questions I have from people. And here is our 60-second plan. So this is kind of a little workbook for you. This walks through the pillars of success for as being an itinerant teacher. So being able to kind of find your tribe and locate the resources and the support center to be able to get you the tools and materials that you need, being able to master your schedule before your schedule masters you. Because if you're somebody who's got a big caseload, you know that your schedule can be a beast and you really have to tame that beast. Otherwise, you're literally driving in circles. You're literally driving in circles. So this is kind of helps support you with identifying how to kind of get your schedule under control. How to enlist the village. So that's being able to enlist the people who work with your child or students when you're not there, which is most of the time. So how do we do that? How do we do that well? And how do we empower your students so that they can also serve themselves and do that well? So this is a really great little workbook for you and just kind of walks you through those steps. So those are some of the materials that I want to show you tonight. Let me stop and see what questions you have. Feel free to put in the chat anything that you didn't see that you would like to see, or any questions that you have tonight.